let's get our body language right. Okay? I mean, see, I'm looking towards you now. That's better.
What did you do before? What did you do before?
I was like this.
Oh yeah, maybe.
That's no good.
Maybe
I go like that.
Yeah, hello.
Okay.
Nice to meet you. In my perception, you're like a how do you say that? A resurrection, a rising. Before you were in the living room of my parents back in the 90s, and now you're here.
I get a lot of when I travel, because I travel a lot over Europe, and if I stop long enough, someone will come and say, "You're the guy from MTV Europe," and it's always very, very special because I think not because it's me, but because those people remember when they were 15 and they had to fight their parents to watch this terrible show on MTV. And so I think they go back in time and I go back in time, and it's a really good connection. I get that quite a lot. I love it.
What have you been doing? Like, I know there's a book and it's a lot to say, but could you maybe like do a...
Yes, resume.
A resume, exactly.
Well, after I left MTV, I sank down because no one would give me a job anymore because I'd messed up in Hamburg and I was a bit out of control in front of a crazy crowd. Then I got a bit depressed, although I didn't know I was depressed, because when you're depressed, you think you're okay. And then I got better because I was living a bit of a fake life at home. My wife was going out to work because I couldn't get any more work. She was working. I was pretending everything was okay. When she came home, I would clean up the house and cook the food, and a lovely day, called my agent, nothing. But in reality, I was just doing nothing all day and really depressed like that. And then one day, she came home and she caught me, and she said, "I've lost my respect, you're my man, where have you gone?" And that just woke me up. And I thought, I can't work in Germany, I can't work in England, because people know about Hamburg, and that killed me. Everyone thought I was out of control. And basically I got judged on 5 minutes of madness instead of 9 years of career. But that's this business. So when I thought, where can I go that no one knows me and my reputation? I can speak French, I'll go to Paris. So I went to Paris and I was really hungry and I saw everybody. And of course, even though they didn't have satellite and cable in Paris, the business people did. The network bosses knew who I was. So they didn't think anything bad of me, and different system over there. And so I got one job, and then I got another job, and then my wife moved over to Paris, and then she left me for another man, and I got depressed again. And then I got offered a very big job in Paris, and I turned it down because it was with dark side people I don't like, I've got a very simple rule when I work with people. It's not about the money, because I don't follow money. It's about, I never work with arseholes, people who are nasty, horrible, terrible to their crew. I never work with those people. So I said no to these people. In France, you can't say no to powerful people because they'll ruin you. So I got ruined again, thought, oh, what can I do now? And then I thought I'll go back to the source of everything for me, which was Belgium. And well, at first I went to Berlin because everybody says Berlin's the new New York city. So I thought it's cool and hip and a magnificent place and full of good vibes and underground and alternative. But I didn't really get on with the cold, the freezing cold, and the cold people. So then I thought, what can I do? I went back to the source of my career, which was Belgium, and I did a documentary series on beer. And I said, okay, I don't like beer, I like wine, but that's good. We don't want you to like beer, we like you. Will you do it? And I just said yes, because I think they're never gonna make a documentary on beer. And then they did. And then we did 3 series of that because it was a high rating, more than 1.5 million people, which is a lot for Belgium. And then suddenly I got offers like, will you become a judge on Pop Idol, X Factor? And I said, no, never. I hate those shows, karaoke, rubbish. They ruin music on TV, I won't do it. But then someone came from Belgium's Got Talent, which is a different family show, feel good, you know, uncles dancing and young people thinking they've got a talent when they haven't. It's a fun, good time feeling show. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that. And it's been some of the biggest fun I've had in television in 20 years as a judge. I just said to them, if I can tell the truth and be honest, and you don't want me to play a role like being the bad guy, I'll do it.
If you would ever do that.
I can't.
Yeah.
I can tell the truth, but I do it in a way that it's nice, and you know, because they're people on stage. They're not machines. It's a whole big dream for them, and you can't just sit there as a judge and go, "You're rubbish."
Yeah, of
Get
course
off.
not. And
it's
they're
a dream,
kids. Yeah.
You know.
And then after that, what did you do?
Well, then after that, I decided to write the book, which was a big mistake. I shouldn't have done that.
Why not?
Well, because firstly, writing a book, as I found out, is a very big responsibility. Telling stories, I can tell stories, but writing them down is something different. And the publisher said, we'll give you a ghostwriter. Well, I don't want a ghostwriter, I'll do it myself. How long do you need? Well, I don't know, 6 months. 2 years later, I was still doing it. The only thing is, and I've realised by writing the book, and it's a bit like being Oprah Winfrey, because I've had quite a lot of emails from people saying, this really helped me, because I've realised that I am in fact addicted to the internet, and I am depressed, and reading your book I know that I should get help. So it's the 90s, you can imagine, the anecdotes range from the massive cocaine that people needed to perform on Most Wanted before they performed, not me, but the bands.
Not you, never you?
No, not while performing, because you couldn't. I mean, firstly, you don't need to. You have the best drug in the world in your body. It's called adrenaline. And when you get that on a live show, you feel super powerful, and it's brilliant. And I don't need it. And one time on Most Wanted, the sound man was in the toilet before we went live, and I was trying to go to the toilet. Come on, we're in a minute. And he was having a joint in the toilet, and I could smell it, because sound men, they like to hear the acoustics and things. And he came out and said, oh, have some of that. And I said, okay, I'll have a quick. And I just went into the studio, and I remember being live in front of the camera, and my mouth went dry, and I didn't like it at all. I don't think, I don't even have a glass of wine before I go on stage or anything. I like to be completely clean, because you don't need anything. Focus, chaos, energy, I've got it already. It was just because I lived in the 90s, and if you were young in the 90s and someone said to you, do you want to take a pill that's going to make you love everybody and dance all night long? You say, yeah, of course I do. And of course, cocaine was big in the 90s, it still is now. I mean, it's an epidemic everywhere. It's a stupid drug. It just makes you talk rubbish, and make the people horrible, and it makes you addicted. It's a horrible drug. But I went through all of that, but I'm very lucky. I'm not addictive personality. I like to go down to the gym, I like to run, I like to keep fit, so that sometimes I can just go crazy and lose control.
But you had like issues with addiction, haven't you?
Yeah, but that was not addiction to drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, nothing like that. It was because I was feeling so bad about myself after MTV, and I was king of Europe, and then suddenly I was nothing. Nobody. No one would hire me, and for the first 6 months it was cool. I was putting vegetables in the garden, riding my motorbike a lot, seeing my friends a lot, but then suddenly it hits you, oh my God, I'm finished. So internet addiction, porn addiction, makes you feel good. You feel really good. You feel really good about yourself. So I became a bit addicted to that, obsessed I would say. First I was addicted to PlayStation because I got really good at all of the war games, and then I got addicted. I mean, we were living in England, so it was difficult for you European continentals to realise that pornography was not available to English people. You didn't find it anywhere. You couldn't buy it in the shops. It was illegal. So when the internet happened, you could have internet porn in your room. Yeah, I'm going to watch that. So I became a bit addicted to it, and only because it made me forget everything bad, and it made me feel good. Until my wife came home one day and saw my fake life, and that changed everything.
Okay, last question. Yes. Which one is your favorite 90s gadget or thing?
Favorite 90s gadget? I think, I was around when the Motorola gave me the first ever mobile phone, on MTV, because I was on MTV, so there was a phone about this big with a battery that you had to have 2 people to carry around. But I think my favourite gadget from the 90s was I still love it now, and I don't know why it's gone, it's the fax machine. Because it's just, you can actually write and make drawings and put it in a machine, and then someone on the other side of the world can get it. I think it's a great technology. I mean, I'm a gadget, like most men, I'm a gadget freak. I get all of the latest gadgets all of the time. Okay. But I think a fax machine, actually seeing writing and drawings, is something more personal than an email or a photo.
Yeah, true.
I like it a lot.
True.
I think they should bring them back.
True. I have so many other questions, but yeah, I know. It was really nice to meet you.
And you, Barbara.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you very much.